You're on video now. Hey everyone, what's up? It's been so long since I've like just sat down and done like a talking for you guys since last year, I'm pretty sure, when I was starting my program and going through the applications and everything like that. First, I think we need some music in here. Let's see. Sounds good. So what I'm gonna do today is one of my most requested videos. I've meaning to do this for a while and I'm sorry, but school has been a lot busier than I thought. So now things are winding down. So I had some time to ask y'all some questions and I was honestly overwhelmed. I got so many questions, which makes me so happy. So I was super excited to answer them all for you guys. So yeah, without further ado, let's get started. So the first question is from my friend Noelle, who was also a character attendant with me at Animal Kingdom throughout my program last year. But I thought her question was really good to start with because no one really did ask that, just to go over the basics. So thanks for your contribution, even though it was a joke. She asked, what is a character attendant? So a character attendant, for lack of a better term, is essentially what I heard this from someone else. It's a glorified bodyguard for the characters. Now, I know that sounds ridiculous, but there's a lot of things that go into that. So first and foremost, we are looking out for the character's safety. That is just the most important thing that we have to deal with because things can happen in the blink of an eye, and that's just the most important thing to keep in mind. Also involves a lot of other things. You become very good at multitasking when you're working at Disney, no matter what role you have, but in character attendant, aside from looking out for the character safety, we have to kind of look out for the line safety, for guest safety. If there's something around near our area that we see that a guest shouldn't be doing, we have to make sure to approach them and talk to them. We also have to just socialize with our line, make sure our line is aware when we're giving like 5-minute warnings if the character is going to step away, make sure they're kind of aware of what's going on, how long they'll be waiting. Also, if we are working with fur, we have to be the voice for that character. We also just have to make sure that we're paying attention to just our surroundings in general, like weather warnings if our captain comes by to talk to us. So there's a lot going on, and I've become very good at multitasking because you definitely have to have your attention focused. I can sometimes stare off into space, into La La Land, but it's hard to do that when character attending because there's so much you have to be paying attention to, and if an interaction's going on and you can't be the voice for that character, then you can definitely just socialize with the line and things like that, but always kind of keeping your side eye on the character to make sure that they are safe. So there's a lot that goes into it, but I definitely can't imagine doing any other job. So Nicole Custer asked, how much fun is it and is it a lot of work? So like I said, it is so much fun, but it is a lot of work. All roles during the Disney College program in the parks and resorts are a lot of work. It's long hours, long days. The nice part about being a character attendant is that there is some shorter shifts that you can trade for. So a lot of times, you've probably seen that I had a lot of time to play and everyone was like, how'd you have a lot of time to play? Sometimes during the week I would trade for the shorter 4-hour night shifts because I wanted to play most of the time. But it's very draining, as all roles, you're on your feet a lot, especially when you're outside in the dead of summer. It's hot, you're sweating, but it's what you make of it, you know, just embrace the heat. Just have fun. So Happily Ever Danielle asked the hardest part about being a character attendant. So like I said, the hardest part for me was the fact that you always have to be paying attention, because sometimes when I get tired later in the day, I would just stare off into space, and there would be days, you know, or if I was just having a bad day, where I would just stand there with not a smile on my face, just pretty much directing the line and not doing everything. So that was definitely hard. And some other challenges were sometimes you would be the only attendant if someone called out and there was no replacement, or some locations where it's crazy busy, like the World Showcase in Epcot, they only give one attendant for the princesses, even though there should be two. So that's stressful too, sometimes maintaining everything by yourself. But the nicest part is you typically, 99% of the time, you will have PhotoPass with your character, and PhotoPass, make friends with them. They will be your biggest support system and they will help you out. So a lot of times when I was in the World Showcase, I would have to stand at the back of the line and close the line right away because the princess's set would be over. So So the PhotoPass at the front of the line would be super kind to make sure to watch out for the safety while I was in the back dealing with the guests. So they would kind of help out with the character in the front. So that was really good to have them. So make sure you are communicating with your PhotoPass as well and the other people that you're working with in that location, so you can all help each other, because as they do tell you when you start working at Disney is we're all one system. We all need to help each other, and they always say we're all custodial. Same thing, if you see a piece of trash in your location, pick it up. So we're all there to support each other. We're not there to run the show. We couldn't be there without the characters couldn't be there without us. Same with PhotoPass. So it's all one big cohesive environment. We all need to be able to work together in it. So that's the most important thing to pay attention to. So Caitlin Harris asked, do you travel to different locations all the time, or does it stay in a more centralized spot? So that is one of the best parts about being a character attendant, in my opinion, in our college program, is that you can trade. So obviously as a CP, you can't give away shifts. But you can trade as much as you want, and that was the one thing I wanted to do. Was I wanted to take advantage. I wanted to work with as many characters as I possibly could. So I set out to do that. As soon as I got comfortable in Animal Kingdom, because that's my home park, after about 3 weeks to a month, I started going on every single schedule drop, and I would go onto our Facebook pages and I would trade with people, because I wanted the most experience possible. And I talked to a lot of people who were uncomfortable leaving, you know, and going off to a new park because they didn't know what people would think. Literally, I would say 80% of my program, every single day I walked in and I said, hey, I never worked this location for, how can you help me? And the captain, the performers, and all the other attendants there, if there were any, were more than willing to help me. They've all been there before, so they're always willing to help you, and they understand that you're gonna make mistakes and you're not gonna be perfect, and that's okay. So don't be afraid to step outside of your comfort zone, really. I mean, that's just a life skill in general to gain, and that's something that I definitely gained there, because every day I just wanted to work with as many characters as possible. And because I stepped outside of my comfort zone, I got to meet some really cool people that I wouldn't have met just staying at Animal Kingdom, and I got to work with some really cool characters that I would have never worked with before. So definitely take advantage of that. Go trade. If you do decide to stay at your home park, though, you do get assigned typically different characters every single day. You know, sometimes you might have the same location twice in 1 week, but a lot of the times they try to mix it up. So if, you know, on Sunday I was with Pocahontas, on Monday I might be with Flick. So it would rotate all the time, which I liked because it kept it fresh and new, but also trading locations for me, because I got bored of some of the characters in Animal Kingdom right away. I need that different environment. I need to keep moving. So that's why I decided to trade so much, so I wouldn't be sort of stuck in the same place with the shift that I've done. It would be a whole new different environment. So I loved the opportunity to be able to do that. Now, if you do become a character attendant, sometimes you will have shifts where it's called a breaker. So essentially you go around and you give different characters on the park breaks. Those are really fun sometimes, because you get to work with a bunch of different ones in one day. You kind of like pop over here for 30 minutes, pop over there for 30 minutes. I don't really love breaker shifts. Some I do, some I don't. It just depends on the day. Same with, so there's another shift that you can get called spare, and a spare is basically when you show up, and sometimes you can get an ER when you're a spare if everyone shows up, but a lot of times they'll put you when they need you if someone calls out or if they need an extra attendant somewhere. And some people like spares as well, because you never know where you're gonna go. Again, I just like to kind of know where I'll be, so I don't really prefer to work those shifts. Another super cool fun kind of shift you can get as a character attendant is called a DCE. That stands for a Disney character event. So those are, for example, marathons are considered DCEs. Disney Vacation Club, Moonlight Magic, Starlit Splashes, things like that. And just typical things that they'll have. So I worked one of the Disney Vacation Club ones, and I got to work one, a business was just coming to the Grand Floridian, and like they all brought their kids, and so we just had some characters come to the Grand Floridian. So DCEs are super cool. Try and pick them up as much as you can. I wish I had the opportunity to pick up more DCEs, because since the DCE character base is at Epcot, people who are in Epcot are typically scheduled those. But people will put them up to trade, because some people don't like them, because sometimes they're like late hours, early hours, whatever, and they don't know, you know, who they'll be with and things like that. but I really like them. I'm gonna try and do some this summer, so definitely pick those up if you can as well. Oh, and another shift I highly recommend is working the Christmas parties and the Halloween parties if you are there during the fall, because they are so much fun. So Happily Ever Danielle also asked one of my favorite questions, because I realized I never got to share this with you guys. She asked, who are all of the characters that I got to work with? So I'm super pumped, because I just realized that I had never really shared this list with anybody, but I kept track during my program, and I'm starting a new list now that I'm seasonal. So I definitely recommend keeping track of the characters you work with. I just kept a list on my phone right here, because it's a really cool way, because a lot of times you cannot take photos after your shifts. So it's just a really cool way to keep track of who you get to work with, and I thought it was a really fun thing. So I got to work with Mickey Mouse, King Louie, Captain Hook, Gideon, Goofy, and Mr. Smee. And all of those were during training, so it was kind of like we traded around characters for the 20-minute intervals. But I got to be with Gideon and Mr. Smee and Captain Hook, and they're all kind of sort of pretty rare, especially Gideon. So that was really cool. So I definitely added those to the list. Goofy and Pluto in Dino Land, that was my first shift. Flick at Discovery Island, Blue and Louie at Dak Upcountry Landing, Pooh and Tigger at Thoughtful Spot in Magic Kingdom, Goofy, Mickey, and Minnie at Epcot Character Spot, Russell at Animal Kingdom, Rafiki at Rafiki's Planet Watch, Mickey, Goofy, Donald, and Daisy at Tusker House at Animal Kingdom, Daisy at the front entrance of Hollywood Studios, Elena and Cinderella at Princess Fairy Tale Hall, Doc McStuffins at Rafiki's Planet Watch, Tarzan, Jane, and Turk at Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party, Doc McStuffins, Pluto, Jake, and Sophia at Stars of Disney Jr. at Hollywood Studios, Tiana and Naveen at the Tiana's Riverboat Party during the Festival Fantasy Parade. They have this, they have a riverboat like dessert party with Tiana and Naveen, so I got to work it. So cool. Pooh, Tigger, Eeyore, and Piglet at Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party when their cute little Halloween costumes at Thoughtful Spot, Joy and Sadness at Character Spot in Epcot, Chip and Dale at the Flagpole at Magic Kingdom when you first walk in, Timon at Animal Kingdom, Belle and the Beast at a Disney character event with a business at the Grand Floridian, Jasmine, Aladdin, Abu, and Genie at Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party in Agrabah, Peter Pan at Magic Kingdom, Ariel in the Grotto, Jasmine in Morocco in Epcot, Snow White in Germany in Epcot. I got to work Jedi training at Hollywood Studios one day, which is so cool. Minnie, Daisy, Donald, and Goofy at Pete's Silly Sideshow at Magic Kingdom, Jack Sparrow at Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party, Pocahontas at Animal Kingdom, Pooh, Tigger, Eeyore, and Piglet at Crystal Palace, Magic Kingdom, Woody and Buzz Lightyear at Pixar Place at Hollywood Studios, Donald Duck in Dino Land at Animal Kingdom, Anna and Elsa at the Royal Summer House in Epcot, Tinkerbell at the Town Square Theater at Magic Kingdom, Cinderella at Cinderella's Royal Table at Magic Kingdom, Olaf at the Celebrity Spotlight in Hollywood Studios, Mary Poppins in Epcot, United Kingdom, Pluto at the Flagpole in Magic Kingdom, Santa, Goofy, and Pluto with the Jingle Collar at Dino Land. I even wrote down when there was different costumes and stuff. Belle in her Christmas dress in France and Epcot, Jack Skellington as Sandy Claus at Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party, Pluto in Epcot, the World Showcase entrance. He has cute little earmuffs and furry collar for Christmas. The Seven Dwarves at Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party. A Disney character event where Minnie had on a Soarin' outfit. She was above Soarin'. It was for Disney Vacation Club. Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party, Minnie and Daisy at the train station where they had on their cute little Christmas dresses. And Stitch at Tomorrowland at Magic Kingdom, and which was my third shift. And Red Carpet Minnie at Disney's Hollywood Studios. That was a long list. So Dream Along with Jackie asked one of my favorite questions. She asked, what is my favorite magical moment that I've made? So one of them, I was working with Pooh, Tigger, Piglet, and Eeyore during Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party. And the fireworks were just going off. It was the fireworks set, so we were out there doing the fireworks. And there was a little boy and a girl who, it was just them and their dad, and they were in line, but they wanted to see the fireworks. And just from the spot in the line where they were at, the trees were sort of just blocking them, and the kids were like, I could see them like trying to see, and but they didn't want to lose the spot in line. So I told the dad, I was like, oh, they can like come out here with me, like by the like closer up to the entrance in the middle, and like I'll hang out with them, like you could stand in line. And he was like, oh my gosh, thank you so much. So it was so cute. The kids were like, wow, oh my gosh, like, and the dad was like taking pictures, and like they were talking to me, they were like, that was a big one, and they were so cute. They made my night. It was just like a cute moment. And then like the dad could, you know, stand in line and make sure that his kids could see the fireworks, but not losing their spot in line. And I don't know, it's just things like that that are so cool, and you get to see the reaction. And the dad was really thankful. He was like, that was so nice of you, Megan, like thank you so much for doing that. And I love when people address me by name. It just makes me feel really special. So that was a super cute moment. And I really loved just getting to do something small like that I know made someone's day, and I'm sure the kids won't forget it. But I didn't really do anything. I didn't go out of my way, and they didn't really ask for anything. So yeah. Okay, so at Patroman2 on Instagram, asking a lot of good questions. So he said, what can guests do to make it easier for character tenants? I love this question. So hopefully like everyone in the world watches this video. That's not gonna happen, but this is a really good question. So something they can definitely do is have your autograph books open and ready. I'm not saying they have to be open the entire time we're in the line, but when you know your turn is coming up, when you're like 4 or 5 people away from the front, get that book open, get that pen open and ready, because sometimes characters have a hard time opening pens because, you know, they're not used to writing. So definitely have that pen open and ready, have that book open and ready to the page you want them to sign on, and have those cameras ready if you need them as well. Also always have your magic band. If you don't have that, have your card kind of in a pocket or something out and accessible to scan as soon as the photos are over. That will definitely make it easier for us. Again, I get it, you've been walking around all day, you're tired, you're probably not thinking about that, but it helps the line flow more smoothly. And when the line flows more smoothly, we can get more people in and out, and that's what we want. We want as many people to meet the characters as possible. So having everything ready as we're spieling, we'll definitely spiel and remind you, but you know, sometimes we have a million things going on too. So if you can remember to have those ready, not the whole time like I said, but once you're a couple people from the front, that'll be really helpful. What are some of your pet peeves as a character tenant? Well, I have a lot, but I'll say my 2. So my number 1 pet peeve is when I tell you to stand like behind a line or something and guests like keep inching forward. Like even if it's your toes, I have like a weird thing with personal space, and I feel like you're like, sometimes the spaces to meet the character are really small, and when you keep like crowding me, it's like really overwhelming for me to try and get stuff done with the family that I'm helping with the current interaction. So please, even your toes, even your toenail, stay behind where I tell you to, and don't inch forward. Like people keep kind of trying to like peek their head and like get closer to see the character. You'll see the character when it's your turn. Just please stay behind the line, because it's really hard to move people, as I've realized, and just staying behind the line definitely helps. My other pet peeve is when I clearly tell people when Pluto is going to get a dog bone, or Goofy is, you know, going to check on Max, and he'll be back in 2 minutes, and a mom turns to a kid and is like, oh, they're just going to the bathroom, honey, they'll be right back. I told you what they're going to do. They're not going to the bathroom. He also asked, what is the general rule to determine how many people will see the character before the cutoff? So typically what we learned in training was we allot 1 minute per family. Sometimes there's those families that just like a million different photos with all the children and a whole photo shoot. Sometimes Make-A-Wishes come up, which take longer. So I sort of just play it by ear based on what the family wants. We never know, but like I said, just please, another pet peeve sort of thing to do to help, please listen to our spieling. So you do know if, you know, maybe if you can predict you are around the 5-minute mark, you know, sort of just get ready to hang out. Don't expect to be rushed, because we don't want to, another thing is, we don't want to rush you in like in the 5-minute mark, because then you won't have a quality interaction either. So if we have to cut you off, don't worry, because you're going to get a good interaction as soon as the character comes back from doing whatever they have to do. You're going to get a better one too if you wait. If you're being rude to us and you are like, no, we need to get in, we have fast, then it's not going to be the quality interaction that you maybe stood in line for a half an hour for. It's going to be long, and they're going to take their time, and it's literally 2 minutes. Like, we always communicate if there's a problem, if they're going to be gone for longer, just please pay attention to us. We try to be as loud as we can to help you all out, because we don't want to waste our time, we don't want to waste the character's time, we don't want to waste your time either, because we know you have so much to do, and we want to make sure the character gets to see as many people as possible. So he also asked my favorite location and my favorite characters to attend. So my favorite locations are definitely Epcot Character Spot, whether that's with Mickey, Minnie, and Goofy, I blanked. or Epcot character spot with Joy and Sadness. I haven't gotten to a character spot with Baymax yet. I'm hoping to do that this summer because I hear Baymax is super fun. Rafiki's Planet Watch with Rafiki. Dino Land with Goofy and Pluto, Up with Russell. I know that sounds like a lot. I just have a lot of shifts that I like. My favorite characters to attend, not necessarily based off the shifts, but I love doing Goofy and Pluto, whether that's separate or together, because they're both just so much fun. They're a blast to attend with. I love getting to work with them. Especially in Dino Land, there's so much cool interaction that can go on. Rafiki's also really fun too. I love working with him. He's a pretty cool guy. He's really wise, and you can make fun of him, and it's super fun. No one asked this, but I'm gonna answer it because those two questions help me think of it. Is what were my favorite shifts during my program? So definitely any shift where I got to do a Disney character event. So Sword, Minnie, Bella and Beast, those were fun because you get to meet cool people from every park when you do a Disney character event, and people are just like, I don't know, they're happy to be there. I don't know, it's really cool. They're super fun, so I love doing those. Cinderella's Royal Table was definitely one of my favorite shifts. That was like a once in a lifetime opportunity. I got to see so many beautiful little girls dressed up in their little princess dresses with their hair all done from the boutique, going to dinner, and also just working with Cinderella. She's always been my favorite princess growing up, so I loved that. And we had some extra time at the end of the night, so she got to sit around the Christmas tree because it was around Christmas time, and she got to read her story out of a storybook to the kids, and that was just the coolest memory. I have a picture of it. I think I posted it on my Instagram. It was just so cool, and you could just feel like the power of the magic and just seeing the kids so excited. Like, it was definitely one of my favorite shifts that I've ever worked. Also, Woody and Buzz are some of my favorite characters to attend, and that's one of my favorite locations as well. Pixar's so much fun because you have two, and I love when I get to work with two characters because they can kind of play off each other, and I always just meet the greatest people there, and I really love working there. So I'm super excited to hopefully work there when Toy Story Land opens again. It'll be crazy, but it'll be a good time. So my friend from school, Maggie, my biggest supporter, she asked a good question that I wanted to answer. She asked, weirdest thing someone's done to a character while working. So I was in Dino Land one day, always a time and a half there, and I happened to be working the line, and within 30 seconds I missed a fight between Goofy, Pluto, and a man. So apparently there was a young couple, and the man just went up, and I'm not going to tell too much detail, but started hitting Pluto, and all this stuff was going on, and Pluto was kind of hurt, had a couple of bruises. Goofy was alright, but it was just very scarring. So we ended up cutting the night a little bit early, but long story short, security had to get involved, all this stuff. I don't want to go into too much detail, but that was a time. So that's just the thing, like, you just never know what you're going to be dealing with. Everything's okay now, obviously, but it's just something that you have to always be aware of because you never know what's going to happen at any given moment. You can look away for 30 seconds and miss something like that. So it was a time. Alright guys, well, thank you so much for letting me sit down and chat with you guys. I love when I get to this because I don't get to do this super often. So if you have any ideas for future videos, future chats, I should probably do one about the college program, doing Q&A about that. Go ahead and drop it in the comments below, DM me on Instagram. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Thank you so much to everyone who submitted questions. I really appreciated it. And from today, I will be back for the summer. Well, I'm filming this on Tuesday the 17th. I don't know when I'm gonna get it up though. But from now, there is 18 days until I'm back for the summer. Woo, super excited. So yeah, thanks so much for watching, guys, and I'll talk to you all soon. Bye.